So today's presentation is entitled The Holy Grail, Making Money During the Day. Just a little introduction. My name is Chris Scrofani. I'm the Vice President of the Williamsburg Indoor Sports Complex in Williamsburg, Virginia. Been there for 23 years. A little background and experience on myself. I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area, played soccer my whole life, as many people in indoor facility and indoor industry have. Was very fortunate to go on and play collegiately at the College of William & Mary, and then I bounced around the professional leagues for a few years and tried my hand in Europe for a little bit before I realized I was not going to make millions of dollars. So had to look for a backup plan. Got together with a friend of mine, Chris Haywood, and we started to talk about putting an indoor facility up. So why am I here today? Talk about our facility, our business, and what we have done for the last 23 years to get where we are today. So we officially opened our doors in 2000, and as soon as we broke ground, I remember my business partner and I, we popped open a bottle of champagne. We felt like all the hard work was behind us. We were excited. We were ready to go. How many of you guys, when you built your facility, were like, man, the rest is easy? Anybody? Okay, well, you're smarter than me, because I was pretty young at the time, and I thought, hey, we're going to work hard, but I thought that the hard work was behind us. So I remember our initial business plan. It was just filled with, activity every weeknight, every weekend. We were the only facility from here to Washington, D.C. I was convinced we were going to be filling this thing nonstop, and was just, we were young, maybe a little green, but we were super excited to get things going. Well, 2000 and 2003 didn't quite go as planned. We weren't hitting our marks, weren't hitting our financial goals. We struggled. We had a difficult time. What we thought was going to make us successful was definitely not making us successful. So we hit kind of a crossroads. What are we going to do here? What were our problems? Current business plan was not working. So we're in Williamsburg, Virginia. We have 4 seasons a year. Our winter is basically from December to February. Okay, so we have winter 1. All right, I know a lot of facilities, it's relative, right? You go up to Massachusetts up north, they have winter 1 and winter 2. Their cold months are October through March or even April, okay? We didn't have that luxury, and we couldn't compete with the outdoor clubs. I mean, they're going to play outdoor soccer. They have tournaments going all the way up through December. So we had a small window of time to generate business. And we did well during that time, as many of you do as well, but it wasn't working during those off months that we thought we were going to be able to do. We were very dependent on the seasonal programs. Chris Haywood had a soccer camp business that he brought into the facility too. So we actually had some activity during the summer as well. Summer we did okay. Winter was good to us. In between months, we struggled. We had some difficult months. October, November, April, May. All that money comes in the wintertime. You're hoping to ride that out, and then all of a sudden the note doesn't matter. They don't care whether it's April or whether it's January. Okay, they want the bills are the same. Well, fluctuates a little bit, but the note's the same. So we had a difficult time during those months, and I can remember the angst of being a part owner in it. Anybody that owns a facility, you get paid last. Okay, so during those down months, we were so dependent on those seasonal programs that how much money we did in the winter and when that money came in determined when I was going to get paid and how much I was going to get paid. Not a fun time, but a lot of growing pains and something we learned a lot from, for sure. No consistency, as it kind of points back to the seasonal aspect of things. Under $1 million in revenue. So we're at a crossroads. What are we going to do? Well, how are we going to figure out how to make money during the day, during the down times, during those down months? Well, in 2003, we came to the USIndoor Conference. Myself, Amy West, who was an operations director with us, she's still with us. We decided we got to do something. We got to find something that we can do to generate revenue during these down months. And I remember looking at Chris Haywood, and he kind of stayed at home to hold down the fort, and he looked at me and he said, dude, you got to come back with something. And so that was my goal. I came here, went to every session that I could. I think it was in Philadelphia, I can't remember. But I went to every session, met some really good people, got some good ideas, but nothing that really stood out to me. Nothing that was like, man, nothing that was going to change our business and change the trajectory of our business. So I went to this one session. It was an open forum session, just an open ideas session, and I was looking for anything. It wasn't very well attended, and I remember sitting down. It was probably one of the smallest rooms, and the facilitator just said, all right, guys, spit out any ideas you have, and a lot of people came up with these grandiose ideas, and I was like, all right, not bad, but nothing that really stood out to me. Until one guy raised his hand that was sitting right behind me. Yep, it was just like that. I turned around and looked at him. He says, I got an after-school program. And I was like, really? So the facilitator said, why don't you tell us about that? So he said, well, I got about 60 kids. The schools in the area drop the kids off at our facility. They hang out for a couple hours, and their parents pick them up. And everyone kind of turned around like that, but then they turned right back to the facilitator. Nobody seemed very interested in who wants to do childcare or before and after school or anything like that, right? We're soccer people. We're sports people, okay? But you know what? I was done trying to figure out how I was going to make money in those down months. So I was ready for anything. So I turned around, I asked him, hey, can I talk to you a little bit afterwards? He said, sure. So I said, how much do you charge for that? He said, $75 a week. And I said, quickly did the math, $75 a week. That's $4,800 a week for 60 kids. That's almost $18,000 a month. That's awesome. I'll take that money during those down months. So right away, I called him up. I called Chris up. I said, I think I got something. It's not what you're expecting, but if we're going to stay a viable business, I think I got something. So Amy and I came back from the conference. We all got together, and it was pretty unanimous. The conference was around the same time of year, and we were like, we got to go at this. So we did some research, rolled our sleeves up, started making contacts in town, Williamsburg, James City County, and within 4 months, we had built transformed our upstairs mezzanine into a preschool. So daytime programs. We had our licensed preschool program, which I've gone over. That was our anchor. Out-of-school day camps, a couple ideas on things that we did. We will go through, as soon as they release, James City County releases their school schedule for the entire year, we go through and we mark all those days that they're off, and we run out-of-school day camps and we run soccer camps. And the community knows we're doing it, and we fill up during those times. Okay, so that's another good way of generating revenue during the day. The Little Shark soccer classes, similar to the Little Kickers and things of that nature. This is just kind of our own one. Doesn't do a whole lot of revenue for us. Maybe I need to talk to Little Kickers about that. But it serves a purpose for us. Adult fitness classes that we do yoga and bar and lunchtime fitness classes, WODs and HIIT type classes during the day. Homeschool sports programs. Homeschool's kind of an interesting thing. They kind of run themselves. They'll come to us and do some programs, and we'll get some consistency with them for a while, and then they'll take a little bit of a hiatus, but then they'll come back. So I would definitely recommend reaching out to them and seeing if you can get some consistent programming for them. Pickleball. Anybody have pickleball? Man, pickleball is taking off. How many of you guys play pickleball? It's pretty awesome sport, actually, but we have done a couple different expansions, and the latest one that we did, we built an upstairs small area for futsal that we do in the summer and winter primarily, and then we also have pickleball courts up there. We have a pretty good following of people. Williamsburg's a pretty good retirement community, so they come in the mornings pretty consistently. They're diehards, and although there's pickleball courts all around, they like the controlled environment. So they come in 7 o'clock in the morning, they're out the door by 10. But we've gotten a lot of memberships from that. Sometimes you get these one-off things that you don't expect. We have adult softball. We're about a mile from Ford's Colony Country Club, which is a pretty big neighborhood, a couple real nice golf courses. And they have some retirees, and they came to us, and they're looking, couple people are passionate about softball, so they wanted to do some training and stuff during the cold months. And when I say cold for Williamsburg, they come in like late September, and they're there till probably late March, and we love it. They come in, they're great, really good people, and they've brought well over 100 memberships to us, and they're doing it when there's nothing going on, So they love coming in, and we love having them. Lunchtime soccer. We have a couple clubs locally. We don't make a lot of money from it, but it's just establishing relationships with people in the local community. They come in, they love it, they play. I still do on Thursday, and because I still coach soccer, but it's probably one of my favorite things I do all week. But you're creating relationships with these people and these coaches, and they're going to be more likely to come and bring their teams to your facility. So it's not a huge moneymaker for us. It doesn't do a whole lot for us, but it creates a lot of inroads from that standpoint.